No. I'm not Seth. I don't do that stuff. Sorry, Seth. Yeah, we had some very good football games today. The first one I thought was very good, even though the fourth quarter pretty much was just the Colts marking their territory. And second game was very good as well. Let me explain. Wow, on Saturday I felt horrible. I mean, maybe because I did so much on Friday night, but on Saturday I felt horrendous. Now I feel a little bad too, but remember, I don't make videos unless I take my medicine, so I feel a little better. My thoughts on the games. I thought we finally got an excellent playoff game in the Saints Vikings game, and let me just give my thoughts on both. First off, Jets. I'm gonna say a bunch of stuff that might hurt Seth's feelings, and that's too damn bad. Let me just say, this kind of proves that Peyton Manning can just pick apart any defense in the NFL that he wants. This proves that when he wants to, he can be the best player in the NFL, which he quite honestly is. I mean, 4 MVP wins in the past decade, 2 in the last 2 years. I mean, what more can you say? The guy's just a monster. And like Seth, I knew the Colts would win immediately when they scored that touchdown with Austin Collie. Because it proves that because he did it so quickly. I think it was like in 50-something seconds, or that was probably the second one. It just proves that whenever he wants to, boom, I can do it like that. Next big thing told me something. Yeah, the Jets are going to lose tomorrow. And I said, you're a Jets fan. Why are you so sure? He said, well, we're weak against the tight ends, and Dallas Clark is the best tight end in the NFL, in my opinion. And Peyton Manning will just pick apart our defense and with the long passes late in the game and show why he's the best athlete in the NFL. His predictions were exactly correct. Colts, nothing you can say. They just figured out the Jets' plan and just destroyed them. Now, let me say this. The Jets did prove they were a good team. They were a very good team. They had a very good season, a very good franchise, and they were amongst the top ones. But nothing will ever change the fact that the Texans should have had their spot. Whether you like it or not, Colts beat the Bengals in the Week 17, but if they lose to the Colts in Week 16, Texans are in the playoffs. Now, the Jets proved that they could oust the Bengals. I still say they got lucky in the Chargers win. I'm sorry. For a kicker to miss 3 field goals, I understand that one was 58 yards. That's kind of unimaginable. But the other 2 were unacceptable. I think the other 2 were less than 40. It's just crazy. But they did prove like that any team can beat any other team on any given Sunday. So maybe on a better day, the Jets could have beaten the Chargers fairly. The Chargers could have beaten the Jets. They just proved that they could have been one of the teams in that chain of, there's always a group of teams who could beat each other any day, no matter what. Some people believe the entire NFL is like that. I believe only a select few can beat each other anytime they want, any day. And for the elite to do that, they just proved they were one of the elite. But, like people say, they should never have gone in the playoffs in the first place. But they did prove themselves to be a great team, an elite team. They did prove themselves to be in the upper echelon of teams. But people are going to say, would the Texans have done the same thing? We'll never know. Would the Texans have beaten the Colts? I honestly think they could have. I thought of any other team in the AFC, the Texans actually had the best chance to beat the Colts. Because they know this offense so well. They desperately wanted to win against the Colts. They desperately know how to pick apart the Colts defense. So, in that sense, yes. I also hope this stops the theory of momentum. I never believed in the theory of momentum. I believe any team will beat any other team on any given Sunday due to certain circumstances. The Giants in 2007, I picked them to beat the Buccaneers. I picked them to beat the Cowboys. Cowboys always choke in the playoffs. But Giants knew their offense so well. And Packers, they had the certain interceptions late in the game. Bret Favre just couldn't do it. Now in the Super Bowl, I didn't pick them to win, I'll give you that. You know, they were smart. They brought their linebackers outside to rush Brady. The most prolific offense in NFL history. Yes, more prolific than the 1998 Vikings. Look up the stats. They stopped them to 14 points. 3 points in the first 3 quarters, which is just amazing. Because they knew how to pick apart that offense by rushing their linebackers. They blitzed constantly, and it worked for them. So that was their strategy. The Ravens last year. They beat the Dolphins, they beat the Titans, and really, the Steelers just proved they were a better team. The Cowboys this year, yes, they didn't have Flozo Adams, but still, certain circumstances prevented them from winning. Like, in the theory of momentum belief, people believe even without Flozo Adams, they'll still win. They'll go through anything. Just because you win a few games in late December, you win your first playoff game, does not mean you're going to win the Super Bowl. It's just a theory of momentum that people have believed for a while, and I hope that theory comes to rest. I've never believed in it, and I think hopefully this season has proved it when you have the 2 number 1 seeds going to the Super Bowl. Next game, I did pick the Colts. I did pick the Vikings. Actually picked the Vikings to win the Super Bowl. I've picked them to win the NFC for weeks and weeks and weeks now. Kind of upset. Good. Congratulations to the Saints. I have a hat. I tip my hat to you. First Super Bowl ever. Pretty impressive. Congratulations. Feel bad for Bret Favre. There's only one thing I hate more than Bret Favre, and that's the people who bitch about Bret Favre. Yes, Bret Favre comes back to the NFL every year, and it pisses people off, and the whole Favre watch thing. But you have his haters who complain all year long. They complain in the entire NFL season, and they complain in the entire offseason. And I honestly could care less for them. They bitch and complain so much. I hate these people more than I hate Bret Favre. And I thought that if Bret Favre were to win the Super Bowl, everything would stop. Bret Favre would retire, the haters would shut up, the Favre watch thing would go away. Unfortunately, we're going to have to go through another season of doubt of whether Bret Favre will return, and the haters, Jesus Christ. Okay, but congratulations to the Saints. Vikings had 5 turnovers. I mean, there's nothing you can do when you play a game like that. The stats won't let you win. It's as simple as that. Unless the other team is just as bad. People are going to blame Bret Favre for what happened in the end. They were on the 40-yard line. They had a 12-minute on the field penalty, which is one of the worst penalties in the NFL. For any coordinator, for any coach, for any staff member of a certain team to allow a penalty like that to happen is just ridiculous. It proves unorganization and lack of control in the very final seconds of the game where it counts. They were on the 40. Ryan Long would have thought to kick like a 56, a 57, which is pretty... I know he has a big leg, but that's kind of crazy. So I don't want people to completely bash Favre. Yes, it is kind of his fault for throwing the interception, but they could have done better. I did not think Reggie Bush was in on that 4th and 1 play. He did not have full possession when he crossed the line. And you can see when, I think it was Jared Allen who hit him and that the ball went back. And I don't think he had the first down. But like I said, 5 interceptions, the stats won't let you win. So congratulations to the Colts. Congratulations to the Saints. Congratulations to the Vikings. And yes, congratulations to the Jets. I don't know why they've been the most hated team in the NFL over the past few weeks. But no offense to them, this game kind of proved that the Colts, whenever they want to, can pick apart any defense, which means the Colts, if they wanted to, could have destroyed them in Week 16. That's just my opinion. So, congratulations. I'm not going to give my Super Bowl thoughts or predictions. I'm going to do an entire video devoted to that. Now, I'm also going to do something called Chikara Watch. I've been watching ROH and PWG quite successfully the last year. I pretty much saw all their shows. Chikara, I only saw, I would say I saw 6 shows last year. They didn't have that many shows last year, though, so I'll say it's like every 4th show. And, I don't give them the credit they deserve. I mean, my complaints about Chikara is, yes, they are probably the most consistent promotion in the world, but none of their shows are really, must-see. You only get 4 or 5 shows a year from them that are must-see. So, but they do have some of the best booking in the world. Probably the best booking in the world of any promotion. And the style is great. The lucha style works for them well. I love the comedy stuff. They haven't overdone it from the shows I've seen. It's just right. I laugh at it. I don't find it ridiculous. Yes, even the wrestling matches that turn into a baseball game. So I'm going to start Chikara Watch. And that is, I'm going to watch this promotion now because they have a very good angle coming up. Kind of like an NWO angle with the BDK, which is called Brothers of the Cross. I remember Honor Hammer 26 had to enter it into a translator. And having a new website. And, I'm taking a look at their cards. I've never done that for Chikara. I've never looked at their cards ahead of time. Usually when the shows come out, then I look at the cards. And, they have some pretty good shows lined up. They already have all their shows and the titles of all the shows from now till July. They're not running that many shows. I'm not going to say I'm going to buy all the shows, but I am going to watch the promotion closely. I'm going to follow the promotion closely. They have a very good storyline. And for Chikara, you kind of have to watch all of their shows for all the storyline elements to kind of connect with, like it did last season. I remember they call their years seasons. It kind of shows it. So yes, I will be following Chikara more closely. I will try to give you more Chikara reviews. It does have some of the best bookings, some of the best talent. I just think they still need a more stable singles title. Young Lions Cup isn't doing it for me, nor is it the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship, whatever the title Mike Quackenbush holds. I think it would make the promotion better, especially with an NWO type faction like they have now, where I think they kind of need a more stable singles title, especially since the Young Lions Cup champion is not on their side, and the NWO Junior Heavyweight Champion is fighting against them. Maybe we can have Claudio Castagnoli versus Mike Quackenbush. Claudio, I believe, is the leader at the BDK, and that would be good. So yeah, they're a very good promotion. very good promos. They have Eddie Kingston, the best promo guy in the business. Pinky Sanchez, who cut a very, very good promo. What's his name? Ultramantis Black, who's great on commentary. They have such a very successful promotion. Now I want to check them out more closely and give you guys more reviews so you guys can check them out. No, you will not buy every show because most of their shows really are like 7s out of 10, 7.5s out of 10. They do have every now and then that are excellent, and of course they have King of Trios, which is almost a much-watched series. So again, my congratulations to the Saints, the Vikings, the Colts, the Chargers, the Cowboys, all teams that made it to the playoffs and worked hard toward a very successful NFL season. And I'm going to keep it closer on Chikara. I have seen Survival of the Fittest 2004. Give you my thoughts on that too once I finish Weekend of Thunder Night 1. And I saw Death for Bitter Fence to finish with 17 Forever. Now I have to finish Final Battle 2003. Thank you all. Thank you for the kind words. Throat still hurts a little bit. Little by little, I'm getting better. Thank you all. I'm Big Red 310. I'm out, guys. See ya.